Hello, everyone. Today's episode is a frustrating one. Keith and I are going to talk about our top 10, or we're going to try and get a top 10. I'm sure we'll do it easily. Our top 10 triggers, things that really wind us up. Some are during a game, some are in the changing rooms, some are just generally being away. Yeah, it was quite frustrating trying to come up with a few ideas for this, Keith. But how are you getting on, mate? You right?
I'm good, mate. These are non-offensive triggers. They are a bit light-hearted, but they do get at us in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, it'd be good. I reckon it'd be a good one for people to listen to, and it'd be good to know what other people have that just triggers them a little bit when they're playing.
100%. We did an episode actually, a few episodes back now, about our favorite away trips. Just about other people's views. I've had a message. I say I've had a message. We've had a message uh, from Jamie Porter disagreeing with our choices um, on our favorite ground, and he said unless it's Durham or Lancs, he's not interested, which I find crazy.
Why? Why? What's wrong with the top five that we've gone with? What's he saying? Why Durham and Lancs? What is with the?
I
What's he got that he's attached to the north so much?
I don't know. I think that's it. I think maybe he's close to London and he's just sick of it and wants to get out. Which you know what? Yeah, I can get that. London for more than a week's tough. So if you live on it, I think he lives in London, so maybe that's it. Enjoys getting up and about and coming up north. But yeah, no, I still find it strange. But either way, it'd be interesting to know if any of our professional colleagues find some of these triggers annoying. So are we going to do one each, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
a top 10, it's not necessarily in order, but these are the 10 things that annoy us the most. Do you want to go with the
I'll
first
start us
one?
off. I'll start us
Go on
off.
then.
So the first thing that bothers me, and this is not something that happens often, and I'm talking from since I've been playing, is I put a lot of time and effort into shining the ball for my teammates, as well you do. We definitely helped each other make sure we looked after each other's balls. Um, and
You said non-offensive, Keith. Come on.
and there's nothing worse than actually polishing your cricket ball, doing everything you can, making sure it is as shiny as possible, throwing it to your teammate who's about to bowl, and they don't even look for starters which side the shiny side is, and they just take it almost mid stride as they start the run up, and that's the one of the most offensive things I think someone can do to me as a teammate on the pitch. I don't know what your thoughts are, mate, but that's a little gripe of mine.
Yeah, but I mean, ball care. So I'm showing my immaturity here because every time I say this, I'm
You want to laugh?
giggling. But yeah, it's so important. And I can't believe every professional bowler, and in fact every bowler at any level, doesn't make looking after the cricket ball a huge area that they focus on. So yeah, it is. It's like sticking a finger up at you, isn't it? After your work, you've got bruised thighs, or your shirt's covered in red dye, and some guy doesn't even care. He's not even, not giving you the time of day, Keith. So that would annoy me as well. Is there any particular individuals that come to mind?
No, it's normally your younger bowlers who are kind of a bit like just drifting, and it's the fact that they will then crash the shiny side, and you're like, well, okay, why am I? I'm not here to repair your work. I'm here to just keep that ball maintained to a good level for when I get it back, and we keep going as a unit. Um, so no, it's just more younger lads that probably aren't aware of the things that can make you a little bit better or give you a better chance of getting a wicket, because that's the most important thing. That ball needs to be in good condition just
Mm.
to add something in the air or off the wicket. If it doesn't do that, you're bowling with an orange.
Yeah, bowling's a lot more fun if it's moving about, isn't it?
Yeah.
It sounds like some of these bowlers you're referring to, Keith, they need to upskill a little bit. They're the sort of people that say they bowl wobble seam, crash the middle of the shiny side, and don't care. And it's like, no, 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 that's not wobble seam. That's just your wrist is poor.
Yeah.
Go away, get in the nets. Yeah, that would. Yeah, to be fair, you're triggering me now. So that's a really good starting point. Shall I come up with one
Yes.
now?
Go on then.
and this is related actually. So we'll go in with this. Remember, it's not in any order. So it is you bowl a ball, goes through to the keeper, for example, gets thrown to a fielder at cover or something like that. They shine the ball, and then you're walking back to your mark, ready to go again, deliver your skill. You get the ball, and they've not really shined it. They've just tickled it on their shirt, and the ball's still rubbish. It's got a
Yep.
big mark somewhere or whatever from where the batsman's hit it. And basically, they've just wasted your time. So then you have to then repair the work again, which eats into over eights and stuff like this. It even takes energy out of you. Actually, like shine the ball is a physical
Yeah,
job.
it is. Yeah.
We had Parky doing it at Leicester last year, and he constantly say, "Oh, my arm hurts or I'm tired." We're like, yeah, that's part of the job. That's
Yeah.
what you sign up for, isn't it?
It is, mate.
But yeah, when fielders do that,
Yeah. Nothing worse to see the ball carry through to the keeper. He tosses it to first, second slip, and they just stand there almost like they're ready for a photo shoot. Like, look as though they're shining, or like, teapotting a little bit, looking up at the sky. Sunny's on, and it's just like, look, this is not about an image here. Just get the ball to someone who's going to shine it, or get it back to me as soon as possible.
it's weird because as bowlers, you naturally care about the ball. And really, you need a whole team buy-in, don't you? That
Yeah.
you get the ball to whoever shines it as quickly as possible. They do a great job. So when people make it part of their agenda just to want to feel the ball and stand around, that's really really irritating. And this is normally batters, I would say, because it's not second nature to them.
Yeah, it's something they're not aware of, really. So yeah, you got to give them a little bit of slack. But when they know there are certain people that are assigned to shine the ball, and they want to just be involved a little bit, it's just like, get over it. Come on. I understand the little time when there'll be two of them. They'll throw a little few underarm catches to keep their hands warm. That's fair enough. Yeah, do that, but get it to someone who's going to shine it, please.
Yeah, totally agree. So what's your next one?
Well, I'm interested what you think of this. I don't know if you've been aware of it. And I get on with umpires. I've not come across many that I don't. But there's nothing worse than a new umpire who's ready to make a name for themselves and lay down the law of you creeping up on the line or you're nearly up running on. I know where I'm at. I know where I am. I'm all right. Just if you can just focus on if it's out LB or if they've nicked it or not, that'll be great. It's something small, but I don't like. I almost feel like they come into the game with a bit of an ego. Not all, but some. I feel like they just want to make sure they're seen to be doing the job the best they can, and I reckon it wears off after a year or two. They kind of realize that if they keep going like this, they're going to wear out, and no one's going to like them.
Right. Okay. Okay. You're spot on. So I've got a little one here. Last year, and this is a perfect example of this. Matt, bearing in mind it's county cricket, right? So there's no one on the line, like there's no alarm going off or whatever. No third umpire. Matt Salisbury, my teammate, bowled a no ball, last ball of the day. And the umpire literally was like, no ball. He loved giving that no ball. And literally every single person on the park was thinking, just have a day off, mate.
Yeah.
Bowlers want to go off. Batter wants to go off. Everyone wants to just go home at that point. And you're like, come on, man. But no, yeah, totally. This is very similar to what was going to be one of mine, which I'm now going to have to rethink, is umpires that tell you're close on the line there. You're close on the line. And then they'll show you and you're half and half. And you're like, spent my career trying to deliberately be half and half, buddy. That's not tight. You know what I mean? So I get you. Like, what is tight on the line, in your opinion? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, when I hear an umpire say you're tight on the line, I'd like them to normally say, mean it in a way of, from where you've been, you are now pushing that line of where you are a good few inches further up than what you have been normally. But if I start off an inch behind the line and I'm there,
you're a jet if you do that.
That's the aim of being giving myself that little bit more. I need to feel as quick as possible, Chris. So I need every inch to count.
No, we all need every inch to count, mate. you're spot on with that. And actually, that is a much better way for umpires to go about it, is to say you're creeping. And then you can be
Yeah,
like, thanks, ump. But when
yeah,
they just tell you you're close all the time,
yeah,
you're like, yeah, again, have a day off. Like,
mm,
stop getting in my space. And equally with the running on thing, that's frustrating. I expect, and you must find this a heck of a lot, I imagine.
yeah, yeah. It's,
I remember playing with you, and someone called you first ball of the game.
yeah, and I was nowhere near on.
George
Yeah.
Sharp. Was it George
Yes,
Sharp?
yes, it was at, we played at Uxbridge, I reckon it was. Yeah. First ball, and then second ball, I went wider and I was nowhere near, and he said, "You're still close." And I was like, just because 'cause we've got Jean Patel, like, it's not my fault. I can land where I want, but I'm not on. But it's just umpires can he'll get a bit ahead of himself. That's all.
Mm.
What was
Um,
your other one, mate?
well, my
What was that one?
version of this was umpires that tell you you're close to
Yeah.
the front line. So we'll
Yeah.
scrap that, and I will go on to. I'm going to put a line through it.
Yep.
I will go on to another one, which, because you've stolen one of mine, this is away from the field of play. Is when you go into the change room after the day's play, and the shower is screaming hot, like too hot. And this goes with something else, is grounds that don't have adjustable temperatures on the showers. So it's like just a button that you press, and it's like
Yeah.
you are stuck with that temperature. Deal
Yep.
with it.
Yep.
Um, I don't. What are you meant to do there in the UK? The climate is all, it's hot, then it's cold. The variability in the weather is so different, and you're telling me I have to have the same temperature shower on every one of those days. Do you know what I mean? Uh, yeah. Is that
Yeah.
fair or not?
No, it is. It's almost where it's going to burn your arm off, so you kind of have to put your arm in quickly and out, then out, and then lather your arm up, wash it off, and then like be brave enough to put your next arm in or your shoulder in or whatever. Yeah, it's not a good way to be operating in the shower, mate.
Well, you know what? I'm going to call grounds out. Hove, too hot, right?
Yeah.
So if you're the first person in, fine. Beyond that, you're struggling. Edgbaston, brand spanking new stadium,
Mm,
but you get the temperature you're given. So you can't have a cool shower on a hot day, or you can't have it turned
yeah.
up a little bit on a cold one. To be fair, even Grace Road just had the changing rooms redone. The showers are a button, and you're stuck with that temperature. And actually, it errs on the cold side as well. When you're like, Jesus, like, oh,
You,
it's not
you
me. I know you like a cold shower every now and again, but
yeah, yeah. You're not a fan of them.
no, no. You actually did proper cold showers, didn't you,
Yeah, yeah. Still doing
last
it.
winter?
Do it now
Do you
every
still
so
do
often.
them?
Yeah, yeah,
I saw David Willey putting some stuff on his social media recently about the cold plunges and stuff.
mm.
I Fair play, nothing against it. I just struggle with cold. I
Everyone does to start with, but I promise you, you'd get used to it, and you'd find it more effective than having a flat white or whatever coffee you wanted to perk you up. Trust me. I'm gonna go in.
sorry, yeah, to get buzzed up.
Yeah, yeah. It just hits you, and you're like, all right, yeah, I feel awake now. Um, yeah,
Jesus.
feel alive. I'm gonna go into my third one.
Yeah,
And I could go more into detail. I might go into more detail with this,
yeah.
but, and we don't do it here, which is good. RSNC and physio are very good on this, but I've been in other places where it hasn't been that good. Is busy warm ups on a batting day. I've
Good
worked
one.
hard to get us off the pitch. All the bowlers have worked hard to do what they can to get us batting, and there's nothing worse than getting, like, let's say, bowling them all out. 2 overs, 3 overs left in the day. We're none down. Next morning, S&C's feeling that, you know what, now's my time to shine. And just making it hectic, high knees, fast feet, sprints, like, right, I've got another 3 days and I've got to bowl again. The last thing I want to do is be warming up to sit on my ass. Like, just let me ease into my day, relax, do some stretches, do what I need to do, hit some balls, because we are batting. I'm not going to be out in the field. I hope not to be. But this warm up, we've got 10 wickets to lose before I could potentially be out there. I don't feel as though I need to be running around like a horse ready for a race. Like just let me chill out. And one step on top of that, nothing worse. And I haven't had this in a while, but there's nothing worse than when you see an opposition's S&C put out quite a few cones, and then your home S&C thinks, "Oh, I can outdo you, we can't." And then all of a sudden, you've just got a busy session, busy warm up of just like a cone off, basically. Who can get more cones and have more dynamic stretches and sprints and hurdle work? Just leave it.
This again, on in so many ways, this is spot on. You know what I see S&Cs do is they forget their spatial awareness disappears. So I'm going to use Northants as an example here because this has wound me up for about 20 years. Every single S&C they ever have sets up their warm-up game of football or whatever it is they do right in front of the pavilion steps. Have you
Yeah,
noticed that?
yeah,
So you want to go out to the wicket, and if you were to walk as the crow flies,
hmm,
you'd walk straight through their game of football or whatever.
yeah,
You know, when you're like, just shift it a few meters to the left, pal.
yeah.
But they do it right there. Sorry, I've deviated a little bit. You're spot on, actually. And so Leicestershire are quite good.
Mm,
We probably would only ever play maybe a game of footy or something like that on a
yeah,
batting day. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Which is, I'm assuming everyone gets themselves up for a game of footy. Um, the only downside is we do have prehab to do. And the idea is you do your prehab every day, irrespective. But like, even when it's just a batting day, I don't really want to do my prehab. I just want to go and,
Yeah.
you know what I
Just
mean?
yeah. Do your own
I mean,
thing.
that's maybe being a bit lazy, to be honest.
20 years
But
in the
you
game.
obviously put your pads on in the changing room, don't you? You pad up
Yeah.
to go for your hit, and then you're doing prehab in pads.
Yeah. No, not for me. Not for me.
But
What's
yeah.
on? What's next on your list?
Okay, I've got a couple to choose from. I'm going to say when I'm bowling, being told to keep coming, righty, that kind of stuff. Because right, this is maybe I overthink this. So there's a few messages that I'm getting given there that aren't what is being said. What is really being said is that last ball was slower or looked like you tried less. Up it, please be better. That's really what that person is telling me, isn't it? Yeah. Well, they're implying I've not run in or something like that. And that's something I pride myself on is like literally trying as hard as I can, team first, and then there'll be some clown somewhere that shouts, keep coming. Probably because I maybe got my skill wrong, overpitched it, and got driven for 4. It wasn't that I got the skill wrong, it was my lack of effort. I didn't
Yeah.
come in hard enough.
Yeah. That's not what you want to hear when you're a few overs deep or a few spells deep, and you're like, just. Do you think I'm not? Do you not think like I've been doing it for so long? Do you think I've just decided to give up, just stop?
Yeah, exactly. I don't care. I've got no professional pride. I don't try hard. All of these things. Yeah, do better. There's a few other things. There's other things like that where what is said is more nervousness or like unhappiness from people.
Mm,
So like when people on the balcony shout out to the middle, keep going, player X kind of thing. What they're really saying is, player X, you're looking a bit ropey out there in the middle. Could you stop making me, poo myself on the balcony here? Do a better job. That's basically what they're saying, but they don't.
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
Yeah.
mine. Keep coming.
All right. Next one. This actually really does bother me. Is when you get your tape measure. Yep. You know your mark and whatever. And I get past the paint. You get the paint. You're like, all right. Yeah. Oh, got a brush. Cool. And it's literally watered down to the most watered down possible white, and you brush it and you could be there for the full day and you know it's going to go within 5 minutes. Groundsman, sort it out. Just it's paint. Look, I know you like your ground to look nice and green, but we need markers. Otherwise, I'm going to scratch the crap out of your ground so make sure I know where my mark is. Stop watering it down. That's so cheap. Your budget's not
Uh,
that bad, surely. You've got paint somewhere. Just give
do
us.
you,
Don't water it down to it just water.
that you know what? It's spot on. Like, there's a few things that are either going on there. The club is in dire straits financially, and it's doing like what Dwight Schrute does in the American Office. They've literally taken a tin of paint, divided it into 5 tins of paint, and replaced it with water to make it last. It's probably not that, but it might be. The other one, yeah, like you say, is the groundsman being really proud of his outfield.
Mm,
I am not going to put this paint on because it will damage my grass. It's like, you know what? Yeah, like you're saying, what will kill your grass a lot more is if it's scratched away to the
yeah,
root by a cricket spike. So just a little
yeah,
bit of paint is the lesser evil. And like you say, yeah, if I don't know if it wears away, it makes you nervous. For me, actually, that makes me nervous as a bowler. Is actually not is losing my mark.
mm.
I'm assuming a lot of bowlers go off of something visual. That's a pretty worrying thought. But have you got a ground in mind that you want to mention here, Keith?
No,
That would
I
be
haven't. No, I'm trying. Let me think. There probably is, but I can't think of it.
Headingley. Am
I
I
haven't.
right in thinking Headingley? Headingley is a paint, but did they start bringing out blue paint, not white paint?
Yeah, there's the odd time there's a green paint, and it's just like, well,
Yeah, they're
what?
trying to hide it.
Yeah.
Um, I
I can't think. There has been a few times though over the years where it's just like, what are you doing?
I I used to carry my own spray around with me.
Mm,
The standard spray that everyone would use,
yeah,
and they wouldn't let me use it at Headingley. They were like, "No, you've got to use this thinned out paint," um, which was a little bit upsetting. I don't know if they thought it killed grass. Or, look, fair enough. I don't want. No one wants to kill grass, but like equally, come up with a good alternative.
yeah.
The-
What's next on yours, mate? What's next on your list?
uh, I feel bad for saying this, but I'm going to say it. Team meals. Th-
Go on then.
This is massive, and in a number of different ways. Is going out for dinner is a nice experience. 4 of you, maybe 6 of you, that kind of thing. The minute you start getting into the realms of, yeah, above 10, it just starts becoming a logistical nightmare.
Yeah,
You're probably not going to eat somewhere you want to eat. The time is always dictated to you rather than you making it. There's always faffing around payment time. Um, yeah, it takes a lot longer because of obviously the kitchen staff are all of a sudden like, holy moly, we've got a huge party in. Um, so that side of team meals
mhm.
really bothers me. I love being in a little four. You know what I mean? I love a
Yeah,
little at the end
yeah,
of end of play. You know what? I know Keith will fancy a burger, fries, and a shake. I'll go and arrange that with him, and we'll drag two more into that. That's me. I don't like being told I've got to eat at 8 o'clock at X restaurant with 15 other people. Um,
yeah. So we obviously you guys, I'm guessing you get meal money within that. We eat at the hotel pretty much every night. Food's on. It's up to you if you want to go out and spend your own money, but we don't get meal money. So we are always eating at the hotel we're staying at. But there are a few bit of variety. There's a bit of variety with what the chef's going to make you. It's not just one meal suits all. But yeah, I think if I was to get meal money, I'd want to be able to choose where I go and who you want to go with, because sometimes not everyone's going to want to eat the same. Um, I remember we played at the Oval years ago at Warwickshire, and Alan Richardson, the bowling coach, wanted us to go for a curry the day before the game, which I was more than happy to go for food, but I was not going for a curry day before a game, which I could be bowling. Didn't want that, and I think me, you, and Clark went pizza or something like that, potentially. Didn't make a difference on what we ate because we bowled dreadfully. We didn't bowl as well as what they wanted. Sang a Tour as a new one,
Mm.
and we were accused that it's because, well, we weren't accused. We were told because we didn't go out with the rest of the bowlers and the bowling coach that was potentially a reason as to why we didn't bowl that well, and should have been more part of the unit. And it's like, don't search for excuses. We had a bad day. We should have actually. Do you know what? Nah, I think Belly was captain. Was Belly captain that game? Yeah, he was. He
Yeah,
was.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, and we should have batted. It was always a batting day, and we bowled first, and the bowlers got blamed for going for runs on a bat first wicket. Yeah, we'll take the blame. But nah,
You know what? Interestingly, I think that game actually, reflecting on it, that was a year Warwickshire got relegated. We got a huge, as a side, to be fair, as well as that incident, we got a huge spray as a team, didn't we? First game of the
mm,
year.
yeah,
And actually, I think it set the tone a bit, you know. Um, Sometimes you get a spray, don't you, from coaches or management, and you know what? It's really good. It's well timed. It hits home. But if you get a spray that's, I don't know, ill timed, it can have real negative effects. I thought that set
yeah,
us off on a bit of a downward spiral, to be honest.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I agree with you. The caveat to everything I've said about team meals being in there is if it's not during the game and it's like the club are taking everyone for a team curry, which
mm,
Leicester, to be fair, Leicestershire have been really good. Claude Henderson's really good at. Yeah, yeah, we'll have a team curry, but it won't be during a game.
yeah,
He'll cover it, and that's everyone can relax. Brilliant, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
during games, not for me.
my last one, which originally I was going to leave out, but actually this I've done enough on S&Cs and taken up too much space and wherever they put the cans and stuff. Batters, just you can be batter or a bowler. If you're batting and you duck a short ball, don't have to be off me, off anyone, and you follow that duck up with a pull shot. Don't pretend you were going to pull it. You didn't see it and go, "Do I pull it and take them down, or do I? No, I'll duck this time." You've ducked for a reason. Don't think like practicing the pull shot has got you out of people thinking you don't like you want it. You really wanted it short. Like no, I want you to play it. Play the game better because you've exposed yourself. That's how I see it. If you duck and then practice a pull shot after it, you've exposed yourself to. I don't really like it there, and I want to practice it, and I'm trying to work on it, but I'm actually not ready for it at all. That's the last thing that triggers me a little bit.
I feel like
Mm,
batters can have quite big egos, but they don't really look into it enough. You know what? I think nothing of it. If someone ducks a bouncer nicely, I don't all of a sudden think, oh, he can't play the short ball. In fact, quite the opposite. Quite often, if people are prepared to duck a few and
yeah,
play the short ball, when it instinctively it's correct and they play it well, that's way better for me than someone that tries to pull every ball
yeah.
thinks they have to pull every ball. Just like that just creates wicket taking opportunities to me. Um, so that's definitely in there because it's always played with an extra bit of you know pizzazz as well, isn't it? Like
Mm.
when batters do it, they do love it. But any extravagant practice shot, to be honest, can can wind me up. I'm better now than I used to be at like not letting it get to me. But
Funny enough, you just said that batters doing stuff that get at you. I was speaking to my new teammate Ali Orr,
yes,
and he mentioned that there was a game he played at Hove, and it was a flat wicket,
mm,
and I think it was their second innings, and there might not have been that much time left in the game.
mm.
But, he's you've bowled top of the stumps, and he's tried to flat back you. I think top edge over the keeper for one bounce four, and you've teapotted as you do, and giving him a little bit of verbals, and something like you said, like what kind of shot, what are you doing? And he was like, well, it's gone for four, hasn't it? Something like that. And then you've gone at him saying, "Oh, it's like you'll be all right playing on these feather beds, averaging 35, youngster, aren't you?" Something.
I don't. Oh, I can't look. I can't remember. This is what I love, right? So obviously, you know me. I'm not. I don't. I don't go around seeking confrontation or anything. That was that game. We bowled Sussex out for 500.
Yeah.
We got 750,
Mhm.
and then we thought, you know what? We'll have a little bowl here because you never know. And then
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast, different episode. They were like 150 for one or two or something like that. So in that game, he's got a shot where he basically picks it up off his hip.
Yeah.
And, he
Yeah.
and to be fair, it does work very well at Hove because it's about a 30-yard boundary to the Spen Karma Pavilion. No, I'm kidding. It's a good shot, and he played it a couple of times off V and Mulder in that game. But yeah, I just thought he just tried to hoy me off a length, and he got lucky with it. And obviously, it was one of them where I was probably a bit grumpy we were even bowling in the first place. Literally,
Yeah.
in our batting innings, I promise you, I spent a whole day, maybe even a day and a half, literally not even considering batting, not even considering it. I was literally on the balcony doing like fantasy football teams.
You
You know
mean
what I mean?
considering? You mean considering bowling at all?
Yeah, we weren't considering
Yeah.
bowling again. And then it was like, oh, we've got an hour and a half
Yeah.
or
Let's.
whatever. Oh, we got a session. So I was grumpy. Interestingly, actually, I don't know him very well, but we did have a game. We had a game at Grace Road where I think he was annoying me because he was running at me in my follow through. And I
Right.
think on one occasion I may have not moved. And I was a bit like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble here. But I kind of left my shoulder in a little bit. Anyway, I think he got a good 50.
Yeah.
But literally immediately after that, he tried one of his pull shot hoy thingies and he got caught at fine leg by Ed Barnes, like the best catch I've ever seen.
Fine.
You know, when I felt bad, I actually patted him off. I was sort of like, oh, I kind of apologized to him. It was like a rank short ball. We literally flipped it round. Got caught there.
Well,
But
go on. We'll carry on. I think we've got one more left.
yeah, this is my last one, and this is obviously close to home, and it's the concept of a night watchman, and how it personally affects me.
Yeah.
So basically, especially if I've had a long day of bowling, I would love to come off, get in a ice bath or a hot bath or have a nice shower, clean myself down, sit there and just enjoy the experience of getting off the pitch and be able to relax into it. And then you get that tap, don't you? You get the tap with about 45 minutes and then someone will be like, how do you feel about doing night watchman? And the answer is obviously really bad about it. I feel really bad about doing it. But again, you're asking me what you're doing. You're telling me, aren't you? You're telling me you want me to do night watchman.
Mm.
So you have to take that on the chin. This bloke's better than you, so you can go in because if you get out, it doesn't matter. And you're probably averaging as much as them anyway in some cases. And then, so you get told that, and then there's this debate in front of your eyes. Oh, should we do it from 7 overs or 4 overs or 5 overs? Then some clever batter will say, oh, I don't want a night watchman. And they know they're going to be made to have one. So for their own ego, they'll say, oh, I don't want one. It's okay. And then the captain and coach will say, no, you've got to have a night watchman. And then the batter will say, oh, yeah, okay, I'll go with it. 6 overs. And you're like, okay. So then you get out your comfy clothes, put your pads on, and then basically you have to spend 30 minutes nervously watching what tends to be a strike bowler steaming in, with a new ball. Yeah, and watch it unfold. Horrific. Yeah, that's my take on it. You're probably too good to do night watchman, to be fair.
I've done it once, but it was because my knee had gone before the game started. This was COVID year. Knee had gone against Sussex. I think bone had chipped away and shattered in my knee. So we didn't know that at the time. We just knew it was swollen. I shouldn't have played this next game, but we didn't have many players. And they sent me a night watchman just because it's like it doesn't matter if you get attacked because you can't move anyway. And I think I got a single, and in my head I was just thinking, I'm just going to bat as normal. I'm not going to be like defensive, try and save my wicket. If I'm still here tomorrow, I'm just going to keep going. And I forgot who was bowling, but ran up ball and I saw this, what was for me juicy half volley straight, but I was like, I'm smoking this, and just missed it. Middle pole gone. Never again was I asked to do night donkey. So yeah, I've got away with it, I think, quite well.
But I'm not going to name names here as well, but there's times where I'm kind of down to bat 9 or something. And then someone at 10 or 11 will be, oh, I can't do it. I play too many shots. I'm too aggressive to go and do it. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, like I wouldn't want to be loose and aggressive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd love to go out there and play with, complete freedom and not care. But I actually am going to play for the team. So it's like your own unselfishness just gets
Yeah.
laid on you. But it's a weird concept. I do get it, but it doesn't make it any better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Well, I'm trying to think if there's any. Well, those are the 10, aren't they? Those are the top 10 that we came up with. I think that's it. There isn't any more we've really got, have we? Did you mention any others?
No, I think that's a good 10. And actually, this podcast hasn't made me feel great and that good about things. I feel like I'm going to need to drink almost. It's made me feel a bit angry. And we've done half an hour. So if you're happy, I'm happy
Yeah.
to leave it. And hopefully the listeners enjoy our ranting on this one.
Yeah. All good, mate. Very good. And we'll catch you soon.
Yeah, take it easy, mate. I'll play our little
Thanks, guys.
outro. All
Cheers.
the best, everyone.